Streaming failed. Streaming recovered.
Hey, we're recovered. Wonder where we're streaming to.
I don't know. I'm going to find out in a minute.
Awesome. Well, that's how it goes. I thought
Yeah.
maybe, I wasn't initiating it. I'm the one who's in rural land. So I was like, oh, it's probably my internet. No, it's not because it's not hosted by me.
Exactly. No, we are live. We thank you. We apologize for the interruption, but it looks like we are now officially live.
Woohoo! Good news. Good news. That's great. You like my background? Mastermind Cities in the background.
I like it. I like it. You were in Vegas this morning, so
I
the
wasn't.
joy of a background is you can be in any city anytime. Welcome to Mastermind City, the city
Yeah.
of everything.
I put up Vegas because this morning because that's where I wanted to be, but unfortunately I'm not there.
Yeah, that's what I
This
feel
one,
like I need here. I need like different because I don't have a screen, so I feel like I need to take a different picture and like put it
yeah,
up depending on how I feel. Maybe I'll do that.
because
Maybe.
those of you who use Zoom, we hate those backgrounds where you got a green screen, you put a picture, and then half your hair is cut off, and every time you move, it goes. Ooh.
Well, I think the other issue is that when you put your hand up or you go because I talk with my
Yeah,
hands and it looks really weird because all of a sudden you'll see like a finger or you'll see half a
yeah,
hand and it's like I have to like sit on my hand so it doesn't look so weird. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not a big fan of green screens. In front of a screen, yes, but not a green screen where it's and a lot of
yeah.
people use them. I mean, they became very popular
Very
over COVID. Not interested.
because they wanted to hide that where they were because their houses were messy.
And that I get, but you can turn your camera around
Yeah,
and I would rather have a wall behind me and have all the
yeah.
mess in front, which is what I'm working in right now. I'm kind of moving in my house again. So I have a lot of mess in front of the camera, but not behind. 'Cause I have a
I
wall,
just have our big screen because I'm in our studio.
which is awesome. And I will be there next week. So,
Yeah.
okay. So the topic of the craziness of the week, threads. We
Oh,
hopped on threads. Have to
we
talk
did.
about it because the whole world is talking about it.
Yeah.
So I was one of the, I would say I was one of the first, and this is going to be an odd number when I say one of the first, but I'm at number, I think just over 600,000. So I'm number like 600,000 that got on the app.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, you got on because that's how long it took to download the app because I told you immediately. You're at
Yep.
like 1.2 million. My
Right. I didn't.
husband hopped on last night. He's at 102 million.
Right.
So in 1 week, because it literally has been 1 week, it came out the afternoon last Wednesday. There's over 100 million people that have hopped on this app. What are your initial thoughts?
Well, I think that most people hopped on it because it was easy to, because it pulled in your Instagram. It's Meta's platform. So if you had actually had to log in and do your email and do all that stuff, I don't think they would have had as many people on it. But because it was seamless and, we're both, click join, that's our
Yep.
thing. Click join. I think that's why they got a lot of people. So when we first went on it, we were sitting at my place. Stacy
Yep.
was up, and I didn't know about it because I don't read most of my emails. And sorry, guys. And so literally, when we got on, it was really fun because
Yep.
when's the last time we just like posted anything, right? We just there was no hashtags, there was no nothing, there's no pictures, there's no videos, there's no pressure. So
Exactly.
most people on that night were just like,
Hey, what's
us.
this? And trying to
What do
figure
we
it
do?
out. And it was, people were saying it's like Twitter circa 2000 and something,
Yeah,
people kind of
which is
old
cool.
school. They were like, oh, this is where you've been, reconnecting with old friends. It was just an interesting vibe. It's now
That
been
was
a
day
week.
one.
Sorry?
That was day one, though. The
That was day
interesting.
one, exactly. So the interesting thing that I'm finding about threads, number one, the feedback is that it's still very vanilla, meaning that
Very.
it's a nice place to be. There's not a lot of drama. It's kind of a cool place to hang out. Everyone's being very nice and friendly. No issue. The thing it's going to prove, because everyone's saying that Threads is now the new Twitter,
I don't think so.
well, it's going to be interesting to see because is it actually going to replace Twitter? And I think, and I saw this yesterday, this is not my original concept, but I agreed with that 100%. What is going to happen when something major happens in the world? What do you do?
I'm not going to Threads.
No, but that's going to be the telltale of whether it's actually a Twitter replacement. Because what do we say all the time? If something major happens in the world, our immediate thought is go to Twitter. Someone's talking about it on
Well,
Twitter. Someone has seen something on Twitter.
there's a big elephant in the room, and that there's no freaking hashtag. There's no how do you search for crap.
Right.
Like it's great you're posting and you're getting feeds of people or whatever, but how do you search for something?
Right, which is what the whole concept was in on
Right.
Twitter, which was that original following a conversation, following a topic, all of that kind of stuff. Now, Threads has some pros in regard to its feed, but that to me, and I agreed 100% when I saw this yesterday, was if something happens in the world and everybody jumps on Threads to start talking about it,
No.
then it will prove its weight
No,
in the
because how
world.
do you follow that conversation? There's a thread. Okay, so if I start a conversation, you can follow my thread, right? You can
Right.
follow my. Okay, I get that. I understand their concept, but just very simply, when we go on Twitter and we want to find an update, we put hashtag earthquake,
Yeah.
hashtag
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
And we
Whatever that
find,
trending hashtag is that people are using, and you see all the tweets related to that particular topic. Threads works differently unless they change things. I don't believe that people are going, so I don't think Twitter is going to go away. There's lots of memes and jokes and TikToks being made about, I saw one where it's like, Vine said to Twitter, hey, welcome to the party, welcome to the has-beens. I don't
yeah,
think that's going to happen. I don't
no.
think Twitter is going to be a has been, because I think that is still going to be the place that people are going to go. It is still the top place for media, and it is going to be the place for conversations about a topic.
Yeah, unless they, somehow like I don't understand if I guess they wanted to say, "Oh, this place is a safe place and you can talk and blah blah blah." I get it. But to me it's always first impressions. And first
Right.
impression to me was like it was fun, right? It was like, "Oh, cool." Like cuz it was fun because I didn't care what I was posting. That was fun. But then it was like I went in the second day and didn't know what to do. And I was like, well,
Right.
who am I looking for? What am I looking for? And then what you did notice, I don't know if you noticed it as much, but what I noticed the second day was people that I followed that I knew were posting exactly the same thing they were posting on their Twitter feed.
Right. And
Minus the
that's what the thing is what's happening is people are taking their Instagram post and they're just posting
hashtag.
it over on Threads, which is
Yeah,
not the concept of the platform, but
no,
people don't really know what to do. So it's an
no,
interesting, so people who are Twitter people know
yeah,
what to do. But what
yeah,
I found really fascinating was people who were always saying, I don't understand Twitter. I'm not going to be on
yeah,
Twitter. I don't get how Twitter works. They actually are figuring Threads out because
right.
it's explained slightly differently. So I find that part really interesting.
Well, it's because
And
it's so
because it's
simplistic.
right. So is that a good thing? Will it last? Is it going to be remember back in the Be Real, right? Like we talked about that and we're like, "Oh, that's a really cool app." It was cool. I don't really know many people who are still using it to kind of, came up and went down. Now this is built by Meta, so it has some opportunity there with, and again, because they made it easy to get in, you can share your thread to your Instagram story. So they have some connectivity there. I don't really
Yes.
care. I'm not on Threads. I don't need to see your threads. If I want to go on Threads, I'll see your threads. And I'll see your conversation. I'll
Yeah.
jump into the conversation. So I think it's still going to be, I think it's going to remain longer than some of the other ones. I think it has some validity. Will it replace Twitter? No.
No, I think they need to make the changes, right? Like you have to make it. The reason I enjoy Twitter, and I do, and I don't really, it's not that like I love to post on Twitter. I just like to get my information from Twitter.
Right.
So, if what do you do if you heard about a local accident, you look up the local police Twitter, right? And they
Yep,
tell you what.
exactly. Yep.
So I don't
Anything that
think
goes
that,
on.
yeah, so I think threads, again, unless you're, I mean, if you just want to have a nice, it feels like you're having a coffee in the coffee shop talking to the next person. You know what I mean? Nothing
That's
that,
exactly what people are saying. It's again, like I said, it's very vanilla, not a lot of stuff going on. But
but it
going
is
back to the
meta.
same thing, yeah, like you and I will watch like a TV show for an example. Like remember way back, The Bachelor, the Bachelorette. We always joked about that, right? And the best part was reading the tweets,
Yeah, while you
right?
were watching.
While you're watching the show, and it's hilarious. Like I'll go to you and be like, "Oh, did you see this person said this?" And we're laughing because it's in the moment and it's funny, and we put in our 2 cents, and it's all good. But they can find that, and people are responding. But in threads,
Yeah.
I don't, I don't think it will ever become that. I could be wrong. I'm willing to be
Well, I
wrong,
mean, they're going to
but I
have to
don't
do
think it'll ever be
something.
that.
They can't like they have to do something if that's their plan is to just sort of roll it out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And now they'll add search, but they have to do something, whether it's a hashtag or something. They have to do something for people to be able to find things.
yeah,
Otherwise,
exactly.
so I don't know. I mean,
It's gonna be
I
interesting.
get it. I mean, good for them for attempting because they have to do something since Facebook is such a drag. But I
Yeah,
think I mean, it had that, like, that's what I liked about it when we first went out and we are like, oh, this is fun. But then they didn't keep it up. You know what I mean? They should have went, okay, now do this, now do this.
right.
But
Exactly. Yeah, it's that follow. Like I said, I go in and I'm like, all right, I can post a thread, and
yeah,
but again, it's similar to a tweet. And am I that person? And because I evaluate from a different perspective. I evaluate from a training perspective. Will I teach
yeah,
this particular platform? Will I not teach this particular platform? I look at it from a user perspective. Is it going to be something that people
yeah,
are going to understand? Are they all hopping on the bandwagon because everyone's talking about it? But are people really using it? Are they getting a benefit from it? Look at Clubhouse. Clubhouse kind of came and went, and it was really
yeah.
cool at the beginning. But there's still like we went on it. And we're like, I'm not really sure, and then all of a sudden people are still using it and saying I still really love Clubhouse. You're still going to have that sort of core people
Of course,
that
you're
still
always
love the
gonna have.
platform. But it was actually another person was saying, okay, now everybody watch for the master classes that are going to come out to teach you how to benefit from threads. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think threads has kind of evolved enough to be able to kind of talk about the strategy yet.
Well,
People are still trying to figure it out.
what bothered me about it was, as I said, when I went the second day, and you saw like people trying really hard to put in their quotes that they use on Instagram. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like taking exactly their same feed and trying to squish it into threads.
exactly,
So it
exactly.
was kind of like I mean, the coolness I thought was because it was brand new. It was the first couple of hours, so people were
Yeah.
just like, "Hey, like what's going on?" Like, and it was
Are you
kind of
on
an interesting.
threads? What are we doing? What are we supposed to do over here?
And then the next day, it was, as I said, people posting stupid quotes or the
Yeah,
same thing they do somewhere else. And it was just kind of like it lost its like
yeah,
newness, coolness factor, right?
yeah.
So I think, I don't know. Right now, I haven't logged in since. So I had
Right.
that. I did 2 days, and that's all I did because I just found it boring. I mean, I find Twitter very funny. So
Right, so that's the difference right now, or people are, again, vanilla, like, they're not really posting anything controversial. It's a very nice place to be, like you said, it's a coffee shop, you do your niceties, you say hello to the person in line, and you
yeah,
make your way out, and you have some brief but it's not
yeah.
a place to voice your opinion yet. People aren't
No,
comfortable, they're still trying to figure it out, so will it turn into that? I don't know.
good. I
We'll see what
mean,
happens.
you would think, given that they own Instagram, you think they know what they're doing. I mean, I would say they didn't do a really good job with keeping Facebook relevant, but Instagram is still relevant.
Absolutely.
So I think, but like, I guess the argument is, did he just do it because he's trying to, get back at Elon? Probably because aren't they supposed to do a
Probably.
fight thing?
Well, that's the whole thing. A lot of memes out there with, two fighters. One has, Twitter on it, one has the threads on it, and they're like, duking it out in the boxing ring. But
Yeah, so if
we'll
you
see
really
what happens.
wanted to replace Twitter, you had a shot.
Yeah,
Then just do what Twitter does well, right? Like you don't have to reinvent the wheel, you
yeah.
know. Just
But
because there are people who are upset with Twitter and people who are upset with Elon, and so you could have actually got some of those people over, some big names,
yeah,
but you need to give them more than just that vanilla box that they created. Now, I have to think that it's coming because why
yeah,
else would they do it?
exactly. So we'll see what happens. We don't know. Obviously, we don't work for Meta, so I have no idea what's coming down the pipes with it. I just
No.
feel like it's too soon, because
Yes.
after a week, people are still, hey, I'm new. I'm still trying to figure this out. What does this look like? So I think it's a
Yeah.
stay tuned kind of thing. And we're going to
Yeah.
watch this one. I'm very interested in seeing how it goes, because if it does develop into a true Twitter competitor, which it is not in this moment, in my opinion. If it does
Yeah.
come, then I'm going to really start to pay a lot more attention to it. Right
Yeah.
now, it's not there yet.
Yeah, right now it's just, oh, that's cute. Just like Be Real. That's fun. Like we
Yeah,
thought Be Real was fun. We never thought about it as good for your business or anything
right.
that like that. And fun is okay, but I think right now people are getting, sick of always checking their social media. Like I was sitting somewhere in town and I saw this girl who's waiting. All she's doing is flipping, scrolling. And you realize that, remember back in the old days when we had nothing to do, you'd like read a book, you'd bring a book with you or something, you know what I mean? To pass time in the doctor's office or something like
Read
that,
a
right?
magazine, maybe. Yeah, I don't remember bringing a book, but sure.
Yeah. So, but like now you just see, and it's kind of, well, as I watch someone else do it, because I wasn't doing it, right? Obviously, I was watching someone else do it, and I realized how mindless,
Yeah, I could
most
tell.
of this scrolling is. And I think people are, I don't know about you, but that's the same way. Otherwise, I don't look at all my emails anymore, and I'm not on social media a lot. I mean, obviously, we're on social media for our business, and I like to post things that make me laugh. As you guys know, whoever follows me, I just post random crap about things that make me laugh, and I usually post them at like midnight.
Yeah, I see
so,
them the next day.
so I don't know. I mean, to me, it's like if you want my time, then make it something that I feel like is valuable. And I just don't see the value right now in going on in spending even 10 minutes on threads. I just don't see it yet. That
Yeah.
could change.
Yep,
Never
exactly.
say never.
It's a stay tuned. It could
Yes.
come, it could change, it could turn into a place where I actually want to hang out. Right now, I'm not quite there. Right now, I'm still dipping my toe in, checking it
Yeah.
out, commenting on a
Yeah.
few things. Yep, I'm over here. Yep, just dipping my toe in. I'm not
Yeah.
going all in yet, because who knows what's going to happen.
Exactly.
So we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's our threads. That's our threads summary of the world in social media, as it's been for the past week, because that's all anybody's talking about.
Yeah. And AI. So I'm
Well,
really
AI is
excited.
always there.
Yeah. So, and every day you wake up and there's more and more and more to see. And,
New, yeah,
love it, and we're planning something really big for everybody that follows us or buys our courses in the AI world. And so I think I'm engrossed in it on a daily basis. So sometimes you forget that still, so that's 99.999% of the population have no idea what it is, and then the very small, minute of us that are actually engaged in it are just like, wow, blown away. So I'm really excited about that. Stacy and I are putting stuff together. She's looking at the social media angle of it, which is kind of cool. Maybe we could use it for threats.
I'll probably be able to use it for everything. But I think the majority, in my opinion, the majority of the population would, in entrepreneurs or business owners, or whatever the case may be, know about it, are interested in it, but really don't have an understanding of how to use it for their business.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we were talking to somebody last week or this week or whatever, that was struggling with understanding how to get it to expand on something. So it was like, I asked, Chachi, this, and it gave me this, and that was fine, but I wanted
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And, how to put that in and how to teach it and how to communicate what you want to get the best results. So
Yeah.
that to me is the biggest piece that people are in need of right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And they, I think that's obviously what we taught in our master class and in our workshop. And it's very, very simple. You just need a little bit of direction. And
Yeah.
sometimes watching, TikToks and reels and everything makes it more complicated than
Right.
because you don't understand the basics. So, you really just need to understand the basics before you jump into everybody on TikTok showing you what's cool. It's only cool if you know what you're doing.
Well, I
So
think the challenge is that there are, and with the masterclass that you did, it was definitely made it very easy to understand. The people who are on TikTok teaching it, I believe, are making it very complicated. You
very
know,
complicated.
do you understand me? Do you this, like write this, and it takes them, 10, 15 prompts to get out a piece of information that is useful for your business. I'm
Yeah.
not like I've just seen a couple that are very, very, very complicated.
Yeah, they are, and they're also, it's that TikTok Reels thing where everything's sped up, the video's sped up. So it's like, do
Right.
this, do this, do this, do this, you're done. And you're like, whoa, nobody can follow that. And then people are trying to slow it down and save it,
Yeah.
and they don't understand what they're doing. So it's the only thing that I don't like about TikTok and Reels is I get it. You have to speed it up to make that impact, but sometimes it's really annoying when it's a technical thing,
Right.
right? Or even if it's the people that are making like recipes, and they go boom, 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 and people are like, well, hold on, I want that recipe, but they're going too fast.
But I know it doesn't take 15 seconds to do that because that's where I'm at. So I try to go to their site, I click, I try to get the recipe,
Yeah,
whatever. And I do like I don't need to watch you chopping vegetables for
no,
15 minutes. So
no.
here are the vegetables chopped. Here's my green pepper. Here it is chopped. Like I don't need to see that process, but I feel like there's still a couple of pieces that I didn't get.
You should get, yeah. And like that, like when they're talking about AI, it's always like, use this prompt and do this. And then they flash the prompt up for, a millisecond,
Millisecond.
right? And they don't even offer it anywhere else. They're just
Yeah.
trying to, and I don't like that. Like when we do stuff, we give you the stuff, which is the important part, right? You need to
Yeah,
be
the
able to,
people that do the flash prompt, they're doing it so that you'll replay it,
yeah,
right? You'll try to pause it, you'll click
yeah.
through, you'll try to find it, and to me, that's kinda like clickbait
It's a
to
little
a
bit like,
certain
yeah, part one, two, three, four, five, six of the stupid story. And I think I did it twice and I was like, the story was really bad. Like it wasn't even worth my time.
and they get
Don't
you.
like when people do
Okay.
that.
It's not okay.
It's
Now, I will
usually,
say that in those ones, though, I will see the TikTok now has added next
part,
part.
yeah.
Like, you don't have to go to their profile, find out where you got it. You literally just click next and you can watch the next
But
part if
even
it's
that,
there.
like, it kind of annoying. Like, if you've got good, if the story's good, okay. But don't do five stories and it ends
Yeah.
up being really stupid
Oh, I
because you
was
know what?
mad because they got me in with one and it was 5 parts and I watched all 5 and I got to the end of the 5th and I'm like, "I'm now angry with you." Like, I'm angry that you've taken my
Yeah,
3 minutes, and I know that doesn't sound like a lot of time, but you've taken my 3 minutes, and this is what you gave me?
exactly.
And you hooked me?
Exactly. Yeah, it's just you need to think about those things. I get it. Everyone's following the trend and they're trying to get people on board and stuff. I get it, but if you really are going to give information, give useful information. You
Yeah,
know what? I would rather speed up a video I'm watching than have to figure out how to get the information. So sometimes
exactly,
we both think, slow videos are annoying too, but if you can speed it up, it's cool.
exactly, exactly. Alright, well, enjoy the rest of your day, and, we will see you here back next time.